Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the president and his family are a strain on the White House budget. I never in my life heard of the Secret Service running out of money protecting the first family. But guess what? I didn't even hear about this happening when Obama, George Bush, George Sr., none of them were in office. This is by far the first time I ever heard of the entire Secret Service budget is depleted trying to take care of this first family and keep them protected. It just go to show you these people are going all over the place, spending all kinds of money, going back to his resort in Florida. That's why it's straining, and going all the way up to Bedminster, New Jersey, to his golf course. So he's draining, literally draining all of the money budgeted to the Secret Service. Secret Service says it will run out of money to protect Trump and his family September 30th. The Secret Service said Monday that it has enough money to cover the costs of protecting Trump and his family through the end of September. But after that, the agency will hit a federally mandated cap on salaries and overtime unless Congress intervenes. If lawmakers don't lift the cap, about a third of the agency's agents would be working overtime without being paid, agency officials say. The Secret Service estimate roughly 1,100 employees will work overtime hours excess of statutory pay caps during calendar year 2017. Director Randolph Tex Ailes said in a statement, to remedy this ongoing and serious problem, the agency has worked closely with the Department of Homeland Security, the administration, and the Congress over the past several months to find a legislative solution. The spending limits are supposed to last through December, but the cost of protecting the president and the extended first family, who have traveled extensively for business and vacation, has strained the Secret Service, local government, and at least one other federal agency, the Coast Guard. You know why? Also, you got the First Lady that wants to spend all of her time at Trump Tower in, up in New York. You got to look at this whole thing. She stayed up in New York waiting for the son to finish school. So that's extra detail that got to protect her in New York. And then you have Trump in DC, and he's going to his resort in Bedminster. He's going to his two resorts down in Florida. Yeah, I would say that is draining them. And not only that, when Ivanka and Jared, her husband, has gone on a few vacations, and the Secret Service had to protect them too. So, yeah, I guess they are draining the well. Okay, presidential travel for Trump and the First Lady, who fly to their oceanfront Mar-a-Lago club in Palm Beach, Florida, and to their golf club in Bedminster, New Jersey, on many weekends, has costs for taxpayers and complications for the government. The Secret Service also must provide protection for Trump's 4 adult children. See? Never heard this problem happening where the Secret Service ran out of money because the president and his family is really a financial strain on their budget. Ailes cited overall increases to his agency staff levels, which grew by 800 this year, as a factor of driving the extra costs, calling the issue not one that can be attributed to the current administration protection requirements alone. He noted that the Secret Service in recent years has frequently received permission from Congress to exceed the overtime and salary cap. This occurred as recently as 2016 during President Barack Obama's final year in office. Ailes called the agency's current predicament, first reported by USA Today, an ongoing issue for nearly a decade due to overall increase in operational tempo. Without question, however, the agency workload for security personnel has grown under Trump. The Secret Service now protects 42 people around the clock, 11 more than it did under Obama. The Trump protection number includes 18 members of the president's family. Wow. The cap has been exceeded by at least some amount in recent years, but fewer agents were affected, usually 300 compared to 1,300 in 2016, when agents protected Obama, Hillary Clinton, and Trump during the campaign, according to the office of uh, Elijah Cummings. The top Democrat on the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform. Since he took office, the president inclination to conduct official business with crowds around him, such as a working dinner he held in February with Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe at Mar-a-Lago with diners nearby, has required protection. His 4 adult children and son-in-law have far-flung travel plans that also have pushed up security costs. Trump's son, Eric and Don, traveled this year to the United Arab Emirates for business with their Secret Service detail in tow, in attending the grand opening of the Trump brand golf course resort in the Beverly Hills of Dubai, 8,000 miles from the US, for example. Meanwhile, First Lady Melania Trump stayed behind in New York with the president's youngest son, Barron, for the first 5 months of his presidency, requiring extra security at Trump Tower. Presidential families have for decades been guaranteed around-the-clock protection with no limit on expenses. Every presidency has brought new security challenges depending on the president's lifestyle. George W. Bush traveled to his remote ranch in Texas. Obama went regularly to Martha's Vineyard in his native state of Hawaii. Judicial Watch estimate that Obama-related travel expenses totaled nearly $97 million over 8 years. The Secret Service, beset by years of budget shortages, low morale, and leadership shakeups, requests $60 million in additional funding for the next year to protect Trump, the Trump entourage. Nearly half the additional money, $26.8 million, would pay to protect Trump's family and private home in New York, Trump Tower. Documents obtained by the Washington Post shows, while $33 million would be spent on travel costs incurred by the president, vice president, and other visiting heads of state. The U.S. Coast Guard has run around-the-clock shorelines patrolling along Mar-a-Lago while the president is in town. But see, there you go. Republicans and Democrats said Monday they are concerned about deepening demands on the agency and pledge a fix that could be permanent. Mr. Cummings and I have spoken twice this morning about our mutual desire to see the Secret Service funded and the agents treated fairly while acknowledging the difficult and important job they have. Oversight Committee Chairman Trey Gowdy said in a statement, Cummings said in a statement that he plans to introduce legislation that would allow the agency to exceed the mandate caps on a regular basis. The hardworking men and women of the Secret Service put their lives on the line every day, and it is a travesty that they are not being paid for the hours they work, he said. Congress cannot stand on the sidelines and complain. We need to act to ensure the Secret Service agents get every penny they deserve, period. Wow. You got to think about that. So Obama spent $97 million in 8 years. And Trump has spent half of the $60 million budget, and he's only been in office for 6 months. Oh man, you can't make it up. Let me go ahead and play this video.
Here's a look at the Secret Service by the numbers. The Secret Service was created in 1865 under the Treasury Department. Its original duty was to clamp down on counterfeit money. It added a protective mission after the assassination of President William McKinley in 1901. Today, the Secret Service protects presidents, vice presidents, their immediate families, plus major candidates and their spouses, visiting heads of states, and a list of others. It's got about 3,200 special agents, 1,300 uniformed division officers, and more than 2,000 other employees in technical and administrative roles. The woman who was at the helm? That's Julia Pearson. She was the first female Secret Service director in the agency's nearly 150-year history. Pearson resigned after the agency's botched handling of a White House intruder.
Turns out the latest White House fence jumper made it far past security and into the executive mansion than previously thought.
Just like the previous director, Mark Sullivan stepped down in the wake of his own scandal.
In the prostitution scandal rocking the Secret Service, Senator Susan Collins now saying at least 20 women were brought back to the El Caribe Hotel by the agents just before President Obama's arrival in Colombia. That, of course, poses a serious security breach.
During Pearson's tenure, she saw her fair share of unfavorable headlines. Like in March, when 3 agents on President Obama's detail were sent home from Amsterdam after a drinking incident ahead of Obama's European summit. Or recently, when the Washington Post revealed that the Secret Service botched its response when shots were fired at the White House in 2011. Her resignation came just one day after saying this on Capitol Hill.
The Secret Service has had its share of challenges in recent years, and some during my tenure. I intend to lead the Secret Service through these challenges and restore our agency's reputation to the level of excellence that the American public expects.
Okay. All right. So
Sadly, though, there's not one.
What a pathetic thing. They are running out of money trying to take care of the Trump family since he's been in office. Half of the budget's already gone in 6 months, protecting the first family. Tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Please leave your comment and subscribe. And if you can donate to my channel, please do. Peace, family.